Good morning. Thanks for joining us at Yeti at Large. Today we're going to do some projects including a new TV, a latch on the pantry door, propane tank monitors, and reupholstering the dinette chairs. We'll also talk about the true cost of not winterizing our RV for this short-term season.
This is Yeti at Large, a channel focused on making the most out of what you got, no matter where you're at. Now that you're here, let's go. Installing the TV was straightforward. Any 5-year-old can do that these days. We did have to relocate the bracket, and good on Alliance for leaving us plenty of material to utilize. We followed the factory schematics, and we got a great deal on a TV on Black Friday sales that has the Wi-Fi 6 antenna, which is really going to help us over the factory-supplied TV. Now, we have to enter 100 password.
What should I do next? So, we're talking about the true cost of winterizing. This is running in the background. Who's that clean-cut guy? Winterizing your RV is an essential part of your preventative maintenance program to protect your investment. That being said, there are occasions when it doesn't make sense practically. Our Sticks and Bricks location is at 7,000 feet, and we have very harsh winters here. We've already experienced several nights into the low teens. We've got several small trips planned before we get to our wintering destination at much lower altitude. So winterizing our unit doesn't make sense for a week and a half. So we've come up with a few habits that will protect our investment, make the RV safe but still usable in between our trips. So this is our overnight setting on the little fireplace, which is nothing but a fancy space heater. You can see I set it to the lowest light setting, and I set it to 46 degrees. That's a good point where it's not going to kick on and burn a lot of electricity, but it will prevent the freeze. And even at 46 degrees, I leave the cupboards to the kitchen sink open and the cupboards to the bathroom sink. That way I'm getting good air circulation. So we employ a space heater. This is a Lasco ceramic space heater. I found it to be very safe and reliable. I do not use an extension cord. I have it plugged in directly to the outlet, and I have it set. You can see it's a lot warmer in here right now, but the thermostat we have it set on is at 46. So this will kick on overnight. So this is my overnight setting. Now I know that might seem a little chilly, but I'm trying to conserve propane and avoid the freeze. I also leave the 3 tank heaters on, and during the daytime when I know I'm not going to need them, I'll cycle them off. Now I know the thermostat prevents that from kicking on in a certain temperature range. I also leave the water pump off, and we leave the system depressurized. I'll let a little water out of the bathroom sink and the kitchen sink, and I don't leave it open because I don't want it to drip all night, but once it's been depressurized, I'm comfortable it's not going to harm the system. Finally, when we're trying to bed down for the night, we close all the blinds. Might not add a lot of R value, but it certainly helps a little.
And now, on to the projects we have planned.
So here's our thrift store chairs, and we're getting started on them. Now what we love about these, we weighed these, they're 6 pounds. The factory chairs, while very good chairs, were black and they weighed almost 17 pounds. So by swapping these out, we're going to save 20 pounds of weight, and these chairs are much smaller, so they fit better in the space. We're able to work around them, and they're a little more, believe it or not, posture sensitive. So, but the red doesn't go with the trailer. Now, these are $7 chairs, so we can't put $30 a yard fabric on it, but we found remnant $7 fabric. And we think this matches everything else in the trailer, and it's a good, tough marine vinyl with a little bit of give. Now, the padding they wanted at the store was 25 bucks, and we can't do that either, so we're going to recycle the old padding. We've saved this chunk of synthetic sheepskin, and it's got a little bit of give in it, so we think we're going to reinforce the padding on the bottom with this padding on top, and then new upholstery. And there used to be a black liner on the bottom, like is underneath the box springs on your mattress, but it looked like it all got torn out. So we have this weed barrier fabric, which is almost identical. Never mind the grass on it, we'll clean that off. But we use this weed barrier fabric and reupholster these. Let's get started by removing all the staples. And I think the guy that assembled these got paid by the staple.
Let's hustle through the tedious part of this And just know that we'll use that red fabric as a template to cut our new covering, and we'll use the plywood base as a template to cut the sheepskin and the felt bottom. That's a lot of staples. Hot glue gun and stapler to the rescue. Probably looks like I'm wasting a lot of this fabric, but the best stuff was in the middle, and no matter how I laid it out, there wouldn't have been any left over anyway. It was real tough to cut with these scissors. I wished I had a big pair of upholstery shears. You see, I'm cutting it a little bit small so there isn't the overhang, so when I go to put the upholstery on, it's going to fit real nice. Here we are ready to make our assembly. Well, let me turn that the right way. There we go. These chairs are a little wider in the front. And this recycled foam is going to make short work of it because it's already custom molded to fit to that, and I think with the sheepskin it's going to make them super comfortable. We don't want a lot of extra upholstery underneath here, so I cut it pretty tight following the original template. We'll get this looped around the edge of the plywood, put a little downward pressure, and let's be real methodic about how we're putting in our staples. And there we go. Looks pretty good. And I'm really feeling like the chair is going to be a lot more comfortable than it was previously. Hot glue gunning down that liner to make it look more attractive and more professional. Work quick with a glue gun while it's hot, you can flatten it out. Now, I take a small nail to locate the original holes to put the screws back in, but I did grab a slightly larger screw of the same length. That plywood has a tendency to get loose over time. There it is. Now that I've found where the screw hole is, I can start the screws in the original holes. I will not use a power driver here because it'd be real easy to strip that out. We'll get these things screwed back down, and we got ourselves some very strong, very attractive, and comfortable chairs for the RV. You can see here how they fit in the dinette much better. They're going to work great.
So we saved 20 pounds of weight. We spent $7 per chair, including the upholstery, and we're much more comfortable and ergonomic. Win-win. Well, we got a couple of other little projects to get on, so let's get rolling. Now we love our pantry door and the way the light comes on when you open it. Its location is good, but no matter how I adjust this thing, it always pops open on travel day, and this handle hooks the back of the slide. So we can't have that. So we got ourselves another one of these patio type hinges that are all over in the bathroom and the closets, and we're going to install one on there real quick. That's going to be great on travel day. Nice and snug, not being overly tight. Everything's still working. Boom! Next project.
Created this key rack in here with the command strip hooks. Let's grab our propane key because we're going to head out and install our mopa propane tank level sensor. You can see here I keep the propane tanks locked to help the honest people stay honest. I label them because I like to know which tank is which.
The mopa tank check system. No devices have been added. The app is now open. This tank has plenty of space, so we're not worried about the spacers. Apply dielectric grease to the black sonar rubber circle located in the center between the magnets. Kind of like an ultrasound jelly, if you will, for those of you that have had ultrasounds. Press and hold the sync button, check for 10-15 seconds. This will awake the sensor and allow it to pair with the app. 1 1000, 2 1000, 3 1000, 5 1000, 6 1000, 7 1000. LP tank is empty, updated just now. So it's reading it. Attach the sensor to the base of your tank. Best positioning will always be on the flat center of the base. Wipe any dust off of that. Let's get it right side up like a commercial. Boom. The live sensor portion bubble level function app will help you with alignment. Alright, so let's stand this up right now. Alright, press the setup cogwheel. So we came in where it was a little bit warmer. The setup was really easy. Getting it level and labeled, and I have the passenger side and the driver's side. The tank is at 64, reading really accurate. This is a great system. We'll report back over time and see how it works. My only issue is I really thought I was getting 2 sensors for that price, and when only one showed up, I read the fine print. These are very expensive, but maybe that's the price you pay for that level of accuracy. I'll probably be ordering another one just so I can keep an eye on things. But as it stands right now, I run off the driver's side predominantly, and then when it switches to the passenger side, I know that the driver's side is going to be empty. So it's kind of a way of hacking that, if you will. At first glance, this table may seem kind of high. I'm 6.5 feet tall, and this is a standard cocktail table height. We got this on Amazon for the very specific purpose that not only is the table tall, but our griddle height is tall. And this table makes a perfect companion for working off the griddle. So if I'm rolling burritos or making prep, that's exactly what this is for. This is the look that I'm getting working on these projects. It's one of the first nicer days we've had in a couple of weeks of really cold weather. I think we'll head out to the lake and go for a walk to stretch our legs a little bit. What do you think, Junebug? Good girls.
With as hard as we work on these RVs and as much as we worry about them, sometimes it's easy to forget that this is the whole point. This campground's closed for the winter, but we can still enjoy it on a day-use basis. We're going to be heading to the Superstition Mountains for Christmas by the Lost Dutchman area, and then we're going to winter at a much lower altitude. We'll have all of that in future videos, but for right now, it's really good to go out for a walk with all the people and dogs that you love and really get back in touch with why we RV. I'll leave you with a little solitude at the shoreline, and we'll see you on the next video.
How often can you say that you have the whole lake to yourself? It's just beautiful.